Okay. All right. So this is the third on our schedule for boot camp, but I'm doing it tonight because I wanted it to follow our first training on booking. And because if you are going to put effort into booking, so we've heard from our queens of booking and the amount of time that they put into booking these parties. And what we know, what we believe, what Mary Kay has always said, that a class worth booking is a class worth coaching. And we're going to talk about how do you coach and pre-profile a party? And what does that mean? And why do you want to invest time in doing it? And how do you do it with all these different parties that we have? And so I want to give you a little breakdown, some statistics on where your profit is coming from when you hold a party. So you may be thinking, all right, I do a party, whether it's in person or on Facebook, and you're like, I'm making my money when I'm posting or when I'm live and doing my, live presentation. But let me just give you a breakdown. Let's pretend you sell $200 in product at this party. You make $100 of that as your profit. And I want to give you, this is not scientific. This is based on just some national sales directors that were kind of brainstorming, like, where do you think we make our money in a party? And so out of that $100 in profit, I want you to write this down. You probably $10 of that 100 you earn when you book the party. So that's about $10 worth of where your money is coming from, $10. $20 is going to come from how well you coach your hostess. And we're going to talk about what that means to coach your hostess. $20, that's a lot. Another $20 is earned when you pre-profile the guests that are going to be at the party or participating. So that's $50 out of your 100 that you are making before you even get to the party. This is how important this is. Excuse me. If you have a party, and whether it's in person or virtual, if you do not have a guest list, like if you have someone that says, yeah, I'm going to do a Facebook party, you create the group, but there's nobody in the group, and she keeps saying, oh, yeah, they're going to show up. You don't have a Facebook party. If you don't have at least 25 people in a Facebook group, in that group, you don't have a party. So when I say, do you have a party booked? If you can't count it as a party until you actually have people in the group. And this is, you guys, this is for your own mental, this is for you. Because if you are booking a lot of parties, but not getting the lists of participants, whether you're getting people into the Facebook group, or if it's an in-person party, if they're not telling you who's coming, they don't have people coming. That's why they're not telling you. And so you don't want to count that as a party. You don't want, like in my brain, I don't want to say, oh yeah, I've got a party Saturday morning and I've talked to the hostess, but she's never given me the guest list. And I'm planning on driving to her house with all my supplies and all my things, thinking I'm going to have a party, but I've never gotten a guest list. That is going to be a gigantic waste of my time, because chances are she doesn't have a guest list. Chances are Saturday morning, she's going to go, oh, Beth, you know what? I couldn't actually ever get anyone to come. And so I have my whole Saturday set aside to do this party, and it's not happening. So that is, you guys, this is why pre-profiling and coaching your hostess is so important for us, because I don't want you or me to think we've got all of this business and then it not hold. When we know in Mary Kay that about half of what we book will hold, and that's just due to life stuff. So you might have 2 parties booked. I might have 2 parties on Saturday, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. I have their guest list. I've talked to their guests, and that morning the hostess wakes up and she is sicker than a dog, or something happens and we cancel. That's with a party that's been coached and pre-profiled. So imagine the ones that aren't coached and pre-profiled. Their chances are very high they're not going to hold. So this is so huge. So if half of your profit is made before the party, wow, if you want to double your profit, You want to know how to do this. And you guys, it's not hard. And we actually heard from our queens tonight how to do it because they're doing it. So you're brilliant. You guys are I'm preaching to the choir, all of you here tonight. So let's talk about number one, getting the guest list. Okay, getting the guest list. How do you get the guest list? This is where, so if you have all booked, if all of you, even if you have one booking, and whether it's Facebook or it's in person, or if it's Zoom, and you're having trouble getting their names, you're having trouble with them populating the group, this is where you go, okay, I'm going to give them an incentive. I'm going to give them an incentive for getting that list to me in the next 24 hours. It might be, you can buy the little lip gloss packs on section 2. It might be one little travel lip gloss, but a travel lip gloss, like I'm going to get you your travel lip gloss when you get me your guest list in the next 24 hours. You're going to earn that travel lip gloss when you get 25 people in your Facebook group in the next 24 hours. You can tweak it depending on who your hostess is. If you know there's a product that they love, if they love the oil-free eye makeup remover, get them the travel oil-free eye makeup remover. Incentivize them, give them a reason to get you the list. Because you guys, in our world, this list and this party, it's a top priority, right? It's not a top priority for them. Not because they're not excited. It's just not a top priority for most people. They love it, but it will become a top priority when we give them a reason for it to be a top priority. Okay. So that's number one. How do I get the list? Give them an incentive for getting you the list. Okay. So you've got your guest list. We're going to first talk about, we're going to first talk about what your hostess. This is coaching your hostess. That was the first step of coaching your hostess. So this first part of your training is on coaching your hostess. Number one, letting her know you need that guest list within 24 hours. Number two, giving her words to say when she's inviting people. And I'm going to post these words. I'll put them in the comment section below here. I'll put them in the booking. I'll put them in our Voxer group. But ladies, so I'm going to tell you the booking script that my hostess used on me. It worked on me, not going to work on everyone. She said, Beth, you don't want to come to a Mary Kay party, do you? That's how she invited me to a Mary Kay party. And I was like, heck yeah, I just want to get out of my house. I was at home with 3 babies. I was like, you can invite me anywhere to do anything. A night out sounded fabulous. That's not going to work on everybody. So we need to give our hostess, like, what do they say? Like, what are they saying? So listen, this is a sample. You can tweak it, but listen to this. Hey, Julie, I'm so excited. I'm hosting a class in my home or Zoom or Facebook, wherever, Friday night. The skincare consultant that's going to lead this class is going to be teaching all the latest tips and tricks for health and beautiful skin. The best part is we actually get to sample the products we're going to learn about. I have room for 6 around my table or on my Zoom page. Should I save a seat for you? So, ladies, what we want to help people understand is that a Mary Kay party is not a party plan party like a candle party or a bag party where you're just trying to, like cram as many people in and get orders. And they go to a million different ones with a million different consultants. We want people to understand that when we hold a party, it's a class that they're going to actually learn something about their issues with their skin. And we're going to talk about how we find that out from people. But like, if I've been to, what was the party? There was a party, I think it's called It Works, where you're supposed to like be able to put this stuff on you and it shrinks you. And I don't know if it really works, but I went to the party because I was going to get to try it. I was going to get to sit there and put that thing on me and see if it actually worked. That's why I went to that party, because I was going to learn something and I was going to get to try it and see if it worked. That is different. And so your hostess needs to tell people, you guys, she's coming to our class or coming to my house, or she's going to pop on Zoom and she's going to tell us how to get rid of like our deep wrinkles on our forehead. She's going to tell us how to get rid of like this crazy acne that shows up at 50 years old. Like, and oh, Okay. So we want them to know how to invite people. And then we want them to know how to respond when somebody says, dang it, I can't come. Rather than them going, okay, we want them to have words. So then if they can't come, if no, this is what your hostess would say. Got it. Sorry you can't make it. If you'd still like to enjoy a facial in person or virtually, my consultant would love to meet with you. Is it okay if I share your name and number with her? And they might go, well, yeah, that'd be great. Like, I would still love a facial. I just can't come because my kid has a band concert Friday night, right? So we've told the hostess what to say. Then if the gal says, I don't think so, I'm not really interested, then we don't want her to go, okay. Nope. We want her to have one more set of words. And those words are, you know what? I totally understand. If you want to pop on my consultant's website, there might be something that you need, like just your, mascara or something like that. If you order through the website, you'll count towards my party. So Erin Moore said something about how as she's talking to people, she's continuing through a list of options. So if they can't show up to her Facebook party, she's like, let me send you a sample. Like she's going to A, B, C, and D. I've told this story a million times. When my consultant invited me to her unit success night, when we had guests at success night in person, first she asked me to host a party. Then she asked if she could just come over and show me No, she asked if she could come over and show me lipstick. No, she asked if I wanted to invite friends and then I could maybe get the lipstick for free. No. Did I want to drop off some samples of lipstick? No. You guys, I kept saying no because I was broke. I could not spend a dime. I'm like, you can't come to my house, even with hostess credit. I don't have any money. Like, I would love a lipstick. You don't know how badly I want a lipstick, but I don't have any money. And so then she asked 4 times. The last time she said, do you want to be a face model at my meeting on Thursday? I'll have a gift for you. I was broke, but I was not stupid. I was going to get a gift and I was going to get a night out of my house. And I went to the meeting. You guys, the next day I became a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. And a week later, I came in with an inventory order of $2,400. And now I'm a sales director that makes over $10,000 a month on my best month. You guys, that is why we have options for people, because we don't know their stories. So the reason people tell us no, we don't know, but we need to give the words to our hostesses that are inviting people so they can have better success with getting people at the parties. And that's our job. So we're professional. Our job is to help our hostesses because we want our hostesses to have success. You guys, some people, it is so nerve-wracking for them to invite people to their home because they don't want to be told no, right? Like it's intimidating to host a party. And if nobody comes, so we want to help equip her to have the words to invite people. Okay. So we want to give her the words. We want to let her know what is in it for her. What's in it for me? We all are listening to that same radio station. And so this is where you get to pick a hostess credit plan. There's a million. Mary Kay has a hostess credit plan that's based on sales and bookings. If you go on to In Touch and look for the hostess flyer, I have done for a long time a 50% off shopping spree. It's easy. Ladies, you want to pick a hostess credit that makes sense to you. Because if it doesn't make sense, you're not going to be able to communicate it. And people are going to go, I don't even understand it. Why would I want to host? But if you understand it, then go for it. And if it makes sense, and if you would do it for that hostess credit, I have a friend that does 10% off of your order for each person that comes. So up to 5 or 6. So she goes, I just did that my whole business. That's what I did. Here's an example. I'm going to give you one more example. And then what I want you to think about as you think about your hostess credit is when you're doing your power starts, to use your same hostess program for an entire power start, an entire 30 faces. Don't change it up. Don't go, it didn't work. It didn't, like, do it for an entire thing. So you get comfortable with it. You feel confident with it. And then after you've done it for 30 days, then tweak it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you one more example of hostess credit, and it's called the SHOT program. I guarantee if you go to Pinterest and type in Mary Kay SHOT hostess credit, you'll get like 12,000 templates. But SHOT stands for this. S stands for you have 6 people in person / 25 on Facebook. So S stands for 6 people in person or 25 on Facebook. H stands for hold the party on the original date. O stands for $100 in outside sales that they get before the party. And T stands for 2 bookings that come from the party. For every letter that they accomplish, they get another $25 in free Mary Kay. So they could essentially earn $100 in Mary Kay. That will cost you $50. Okay. But if you get $100 in outside sales, you've just covered your hostess credit. Does that make sense? So again, we can, there's lots of different hostess credit. As you all come across maybe like little flyers for hostess credit, we can put that in our Facebook group. So we kind of, accumulate those things. So your hostess needs to know the words to say to her guest. She needs to know her hostess credit. And then she needs some kind of resource. So this can look differently. Back in the day when we only did in person, we'd have hostess packets, and they would have like a flyer that would have the words they would use to invite their guests. Might have some lookbooks they could pass out to people and some receipts that they could get outside orders. Now you can have a virtual hostess packet. You can have a little pic collage that has your website where they can order. It can have a link to the Skin Analyzer app that people could play around with that. It could have a picture of the hostess rewards. And so you could have a virtual hostess packet. You can have either one, but something that gives her the resources to be a great hostess. Okay. Those are the things that your hostess wants. And then what I love to do as I'm talking to my hostess right away, I love brainstorming what she's going to get with her hostess credit. What is she so excited to get with her hostess credit? When I was a customer, I booked a skincare class, and I booked it because I booked a party from the skincare class I attended because I was going to get the color compact, like the empty compact for free. And then I was going to get to fill it. I had never had that nice of makeup in my entire life. Like, I could not wait to have that beautiful compact, the lipstick that, I couldn't wait. And my consultant reminded me of that beautiful compact as we got ready for my party. There was no way I was going to cancel that party because I was getting that compact for free. So those are things these are things we're talking about in coaching your hostess. It's getting her so excited about her party and giving her the tools to be an effective hostess. Okay. Any questions? And we look in the chat box here. Any questions about anything with coaching the hostess before I talk about what we now do with the guest list that we have? Any questions? And you can unmute yourself and ask. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go to pre-profiling. We've coached the hostess. We have the guest list. And Erin Moore talked about this when she was talking about her Facebook parties, and when she was booking, and she talked about her having conversations with people. And one of the things, Erin, that you said, I know it builds relationships. I know that's important. And I know you know that. And it's true. When we have brand new names, whether it's Facebook or it's an in-person party, the number one reason for us to make a connection with them, and if we can do it voice to voice, is to build a relationship. You want them to like you before you even get to the party. And do you know how you can get people to like you? It is so easy. You don't have to be super dynamic. You don't have to be beautiful. You don't have to be charismatic. You know what you have to do? You have to ask people questions about themselves. When it is, when you ask someone a genuine question about them, they're like, oh, and this is the second thing you have to do. When they answer, you have to listen. And the way you showed you listened is by following up their answer with another question. You guys, it's so easy. We get so nervous about talking to people because we're thinking about what we're going to say about us. People don't care about us. I mean, kind of, but really, they love when you ask about them. And so the power, when you have a connection with somebody, voice to voice, and they know that you have interest in them, and they like you. They like you. So they're going to show up at the party, maybe because they just like you. But there's some other reasons why they're going to show up when you've had this connection with them. These are some of the questions you want to find out from them. You want to find out what they're currently using. What are you using to wash your face? Are you like a soap and water girl? Are you like, I love my brand X and I will never change? You want to know what they're using. And the response to whatever their answer is always great. Awesome. Okay. If they've never put soap on their face in their life, great. If they use the most expensive brand on the planet, great. I can't wait to hear what you think of Mary Kay. Like, you're not there to like, you're not there to judge. You're going to go, great. Can't wait to hear what you think about Mary Kay. So what are they currently using? Have they ever tried Mary Kay? If they've had, maybe somebody had a negative experience 30 years ago when they used a line we don't even have anymore. And they don't know that we have new lines. You want to know their experience. You also want to know, do they have a consultant? Sometimes our friends invite people to their parties that already have a consultant. And that's a bummer because you don't want to be at a party where there's like all of them already have a consultant. So what you find out from them is, you know what? That's great. I'm so glad you have a consultant. You're welcome to come to this party. You're welcome to place an order to support your hostess, but I'm going to send you back to your consultant. That's just what we do in Mary Kay. I know it's different. We're not Pampered Chef. We're not like, we just really want to create loyalty. You guys, this is how they understand that we want to be in relationship with them for the long haul. We are not a party plan business. We are a relationship business. Third thing you want to find out is your skin type. What's your skin type? Normal to dry, combination to oily. What would you like to change about your skin? And then tell me a little bit about you. Just a little bit. And you guys, this is one of the things that you learn from pre-profiling are their personalities. So Erin, I'm just going to be referencing you all night because I told you did the training when you talked about your booking. But so some people will get on the phone and they'll be chatty. Like you'll ask them, you'll say, tell me a little bit about you. How do you know your hostess? Well, she's my sorority sister from college. Really? Where'd you go to college? And she might talk for 15 minutes. Like, okay, we're going to be here for a little bit. Or she might be real short and she's not being rude. She's just not a chit chat person. And we need to know that about her because when you're interacting with her at any point through this experience, you want to interact with her how she wants to be interacted with. So if she's like a bullet point person at the party, if it's in person, you get done. She's going to sit down. She's going to be like, I want the cleanser. I want the mascara. I want the oil for my makeup. And you go, okay, when would you like your follow-up appointment? And this is training for another time, but you guys, she doesn't want to chit chat. Then you'll have somebody else that sits down with you and you're going to know she likes to process with words. So we're going to sit here for a little bit and but you know that because you're pre-profiled. Does that make sense? Okay. So we can pre-profile a lot of different ways these days, whether it's in person or virtual. I'm going to encourage you to attempt to ask them if you can give them a quick call. Even your Facebook parties, like, thanks for joining Julie's Facebook party. Can I give you a quick call to just ask you a couple of questions about your skin? If it's a Facebook party, you're probably going to get less of a response for chatting, but we don't know. But it gives us an opportunity to get their phone number and to talk to them. So always start with asking if you can have permission to chat with them. So start with a call. And if they're like, I am so busy, I don't have time for a call, then you can do several things. You may have a Google form. And you guys, if you go to Google and you Google how to create a Google form, you will watch a 1 minute and 30-second video on how to create a Google form. That's how I learned how to create Google forms. It's very simple, but they're a simple way of gathering data that you can copy the link to, and people can send you all the questions that you want to have answers to. So that's one way. If they don't have time to chat, you might have a Google form saved that you can shoot out to them. That might be one way. Or you may have a text, just a text saved, like a little pic collage, or even just a text saved in your notes that you copy paste in a text message to people, and they respond through text message. That may be another way that you gather information, and you do all your conversation through texting. That's totally fine. I would encourage you with all of your people to incorporate the Skin Analyzer app as part of pre-profiling. So to let them know in your conversation, whether it's in person, it's texting, it's a Google form, let them know about the Skin Analyzer app and that you're going to be using the answers that they get from that app analysis at the party. So I have them send me a picture of their skin analysis, and I'll go, okay, it looks like you've got some uneven skin tone. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you, you're going to actually get to try the product. If you're sending samples, I'm going to send you samples, which like most of the things, it's going to be our miracle set and a serum or something else that's going to help with that. But you guys, that's them going, oh my goodness, that analyzer app actually gave me the information and she's got the product. I can try to see if it will work. Can you see how people are going to show up if they have, there's more literal skin in the game for them as you're pre-profiling and introducing them to yourself. You're asking questions about themselves and you're connecting them to the resources and the anticipation of the experience of this party that's going to be happening. So once you've got that pre-profiled, once you have them pre-profiled on your way up to the party, I like to keep notes. So old school, I got away from using these during COVID, but I think I'm going to go back to using them maybe even for my Facebook parties. It's the beauty profile. It's a customer profile. You can get them on Mary Kay in Touch under section 2. But when it was in person, I would have all of these. When I would talk to people on the phone, I would fill these out. And when I got to the party and set up, I still do this when I do in person, set up the trays around the table, I would set their completed profile that I filled out in advance by their mirror. So when they sat down, they had my notes that I made about them. And then what's really great about this is on the back is at the end of the party is where you have your customers flip it over. And this is where you're going to have them share referrals, where you're going to do your close. So it's really a powerful tool. So, and again, I got away from using these during COVID, but I think I'm going to go back to using them because I have boxes and boxes of these of all my customers. And I love this I guess I'm a paper girl. I like this as a resource. So coaching and pre-profiling. Let me hear a couple of questions or things you learned or you were reminded of. I'm going to take my spotlight off from this training. So even if you have one thing on your books, what's one thing you're going to take from this and go, okay, I can see how I can really make this booking better. Tamara?
I think, like, the Google form and the skin analyzer app, like, currently that is, like, all integrated into my Facebook party.
Mhm,
Um, and I like the idea of doing it if you have the time to do it ahead of time.
mhm.
Um, and like the one Facebook party that I have scheduled is for February, so I've got the time to get her guest list ahead of time before she even invites people.
Mhm,
Um, and get skincare samples sent to them before she even invites people on Facebook. You
mhm.
know, she's actually filling her Facebook party before the group is even created.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Because then I can take some of the stuff out of my Facebook party and maybe do a live skincare class with them during the Facebook party.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. That's a great idea.
So I
It's
like I like that. I currently have a Google form, but it's a checkout form. And
uh-huh.
I ask them all these pre-profile questions, but it's after the Facebook party has happened.
Okay.
So I like the idea of having it beforehand so
Mm,
that I can address specifically what the people who are gonna be there need.
yes.
Question is what if you have somebody like me who says, "I wanna host a Facebook party, can we start tomorrow?"
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
that was me. I
Yep.
just wanted to do it right away.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Well, and that's why the tools that we have are so helpful is that first day in the Facebook party. I would encourage giving an incentive to everybody that fills out the Google form with your pre-profile questions. Like you guys to make this Facebook party perfect for you that are in here, like fill out this Google form because the fun thing about Facebook parties, you can pop in and go live from time to time, and be like, okay, I got Julie's Google form and she had a question about blah, blah, blah. So you can, send Julie a text message and go, Julie, I'm going live in the party tonight at 7, and I'm going to be talking about the issue you put on your Google form. So if you can't catch it live, make sure you go back. So it just, I feel like the more we can engage people, and people will engage when we have information about them. So does that make sense, Tamara? Does that feel doable?
Yeah,
Like if it's tomorrow,
absolutely.
day one, everybody gets a blah, blah, blah that fills out
Yeah.
their Google form by the end of the night tonight.
And really, as when you're using like uh, post my party, it would be easy enough to have two templates set up for a party that's pre-profiled and a party that's not.
Sure. Yeah.
So that you're ready if somebody wants to go tomorrow, but you also have the party that is set up for when the pre-profiling is all done.
Yes. Yep.
Because
Yep.
it's just a few quick changes.
Yep.
I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Other takeaways, questions? Okay. Well, I want to encourage you if you don't have anything on your books, if you're like, okay, I just want one booking, that's your first focus. Get a booking, go back, rewatch the booking training. If you're like, okay, you guys, training, I love listening to trainings over and over again because, we really only retain about 30% of what we hear the first time we hear it. So like even tonight, you'll remember 30% of what we talked about. So watch this 4 more times to get the full, 120% remembering. But if you're like, okay, I want to go back and watch that booking training, really work on my bookings. Once you get a booking, you can then put these skills in place. But these are the foundational pieces that once you own them, like you can start just rolling, but you won't own them until you do them multiple times and just making that investment. So, so that is what this whole process is about. Next Monday, we're going to talk about money management. Okay. I flipped them because I wanted you to have the booking and the pre-profiling and coaching after your booking. Because what we booked, we've coached and pre-profiled. I want you to know what to do with your money. And then the following week, we're going to do like pull apart the skincare class. Okay. All right. Well, we are a little bit over. Faith, I'm going to have you start us off next week. So I'm going to have Faith share a couple of highlights because she got to attend leadership conference as we got to experience with the fun of technology. But I just want to give her some time to share her takeaways from getting to be a part of that experience. So it was a blast. It's just the most fun. So Faith, we will give you a little more time next week. Our money management training isn't quite as long. So we'll do that next week. And you guys go make it a great week. If you any hostess, any ideas, like anything that you heard tonight, if you see it, share it in the Voxer group, share it on our Facebook page. And that's what this is all about. Have a great week, ladies. I'll see you back here next week. Bye-bye.